What's going on, everybody? Bucket Aquatics here. Wanted to give a little bit of an introduction, and then I wanted to kind of talk about a specific fish in this tank that we're looking at right here. But yeah, my name's Brian. I'm going by Bucket Aquatics. I've been keeping fish for about 7 years now. Been doing all right with it, and yeah, as you can see, I've got a pretty healthy tank of fish here. Got some yo-yo loaches, some rainbow fish, got that nice angelfish back there. Let's see if I can get a shot of him at all. But there's a bristlenose pleco. You can't really see him, but he's kind of right there in that little corner. But yeah, it's hard to tell. Yeah, the yo-yo loaches in here are really cool. Yeah, there's an electric blue acara. He kind of hangs out. Let's see, where's he at? He might be hiding behind the rocks on the other side right now. He doesn't always come out, but they're not who we're talking about today. What I wanted to talk about today is this guy right here. This is a Krobia Xinguensis. This fish comes from the Xingu river basins in Brazil, where they like to snack on small invertebrates and insects and insect larvae. So, you know, bigger maggots and worms, stuff like that. Snails. In the home aquarium, they'll take pellets, they'll take flakes, frozen foods, freeze-dried foods. They're pretty accepting of everything. They're mostly peaceful. They can be a little aggressive sometimes, but you know, they're cichlids, so you always got to be careful for that. But for the most part, they do all right. They don't really bother anybody. He's only maybe chased away the rainbow fish during feeding. He has chased the electric blue acara a bit, and I'm working on actually getting all of this into a bigger tank. Possibly upgrading this to a 75 at some point. This is a 55 gallon that they're all in right now. I'm not sure if I mentioned that at the beginning. I probably did. If I did, I'm sorry. As you can see, they don't really bother plants too much. I've got them in here with some cryptocorans that are doing quite well. Some vallisneria that I got to trim up, but it's doing all right otherwise. It's spreading out a bit over here. I got some more growing over here, and there was some back. Yep, that's right there. That's where it is. But yeah. So they do well with plants. He hasn't really ate any of the water lettuce. They're all going to come to the top now because I think I'm going to feed them. But yeah, he hasn't eaten the water lettuce either, so that's been working out well. I think there's some frog. Yeah, there's a little bit of frog bit in here too. He hasn't touched. Actually, that's a nice frog bit right there. I didn't even realize that was growing. Yeah. So they're definitely plant safe. Let's see, the temperature I keep them at, I would recommend anywhere between 75 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. The pH, I would say keep them anywhere between 6.5 and 7. They do like it a little bit softer. And, you know, like I mentioned, yeah, they are South American cichlids. Most South American cichlids typically like the softer pH. Versus like the African cichlids going for the higher pH. Let's see, the color variations you get on these guys, they typically call them the red cheek Krobia. You can kind of see why they got that beautiful orange around the gill plate, and then it extends back up near the dorsal fin. They got the nice vertical line going there. We got the vertical lines coming up and down. They got the blue and green hues to the scales that really shimmer in the light. That kind of changes depending on their mood. I've noticed if he's a little more agitated, they get darker. If he's in a really good mood, it becomes lighter. It also kind of changes depending on, where he is in the light. I've got all this water lettuce and frog bit up here blocking the some of the light, so it changes depending upon that too. But yeah, overall, definitely very peaceful. I've got him in here with the angelfish and the rainbows, like I said before, the yo-yo loaches. If I can find the electric blue acara, I'll show him to you, but he's in there, and like I said, I got that bristlenose pleco in there he does just fine with. I would definitely avoid smaller bodied fish. No, no neon tetras, no cardinal tetras, any of those types of tetras. Definitely not, the smaller rasboras or anything like that. I would stick to faster, larger bodied fish. Maybe even some giant danios would do okay. I've had them in there with the rainbows for a long time, and the rainbows weren't always as big as they were. Like these Bosmanis, they're just starting to finally put some size on. They were kind of small when I had him in there with him, and he did fine with them. So, if you're going to go with tetras, I would say like the diamond tetras, bleeding heart tetras, something of that size. Or, other South American cichlids. He has not bothered this angelfish once. They've been very chill together. The only thing he really bothers is the electric blue acara, which I'm kind of hoping when I put them in the 75-gallon, they'll do just fine. But for now, everybody's doing okay. The electric blue acara still comes out and eats. They don't always chase, but he does get that way sometimes. They are cichlids. That's what they do. They do have territorial aggression. It's not like your typical schooling fish. So if you are looking for a completely peaceful tank, I would say stick with, maybe the angelfish, rainbow fish, the loaches. But if you're okay with a little bit of chasing and not so much aggression, I would say these guys are just fine. They're perfect for just about any tank. They got a good personality. They do dig around in the sand a little bit. But anyways, yeah, let me get some food out for them, and we'll get some footage of them eating. See you in a little bit. Okay, now that I got my food together, we can talk about what I usually feed this tank. So, as I mentioned, really quickly, there's the electric blue acara. Don't be surprised if you see him get chased right now. As you can see, his lines got a little bit darker when he came out. But yeah, he'll probably, he's going to go away. He'll hide, but he'll come back out, and he doesn't always hide. He does come out every now and then, and he does allow him to stay out. It's just, right now they think they know I'm about to feed the tank, so they're all just kind of on edge. But anyways, like I had mentioned earlier, in the wild, the Krobia likes to eat a lot of, bugs, larvae, invertebrates, stuff like that. So what I like to feed is the fluval bug bites, mostly because the number one ingredient in this is black soldier fly larva. So it's pretty much what they would be eating in the wild. It does have a little bit of salmon fish food in there. Well, salmon in there, but not much. It's just enough to help out with color and stuff, give them the oils they need, the omega-3s and stuff. But yeah, it's a nice high-protein diet. I usually mix it up between the flakes, pellets. I also like to occasionally feed frozen bloodworms. This is just the brand I usually grab because it's what's closest to me. You might be buying something else, but any type of frozen bloodworms should do fine. Or even, freeze-dried bloodworms would work just fine. I just prefer frozen. I also like to throw in a few algae wafers. The yo-yo loaches like to snack on them, as well as the bristlenose pleco, obviously. Enjoys having those. But I usually throw one in, like two of them. Actually, I usually throw like one in when I'm feeding everybody, and then I'll throw one at the end of the night when it's nighttime for the pleco. Otherwise, everybody else will just eat them on them. But, yeah, anyways, I'll set this camera up, and I think we're going to feed some flakes. Alright. Well, now that we've been, everybody's been nice and fed, figured this might be a good time to talk about the fact that I got blackbeard algae in my tank. I'm sure a lot of you are going, why has he got that in there? Well, I'm working on getting rid of it off the glass. I don't mind it on the wood. I actually think it looks really cool. Kind of gives the wood an aged look. It doesn't hurt the fish. Some of them actually nibble on it every now and then, so it's almost a food source. I'll give you guys a glimpse of this guy. Don't really get to see him. There's still food falling. I'm sure somebody's probably sitting there saying I fed too much. Not really. The yo-yo loaches will pick at it throughout the day. So will the bristlenose. He'll come out and get it, and then he'll get his algae wafer later. Yeah. But other than that, yeah. Krobia Xinguensis. Awesome fish. They got a lot of personality, a lot of color. I definitely recommend them if you're trying to keep a planted tank with cichlids. Again, keep them with larger bodied fish. Keep them in slightly warmer water, anywhere between, oh, he's sitting there eating an algae wafer, anywhere between 75 and 80, pH between 6.5 and 7. And, you know, feed good foods, feed quality foods, feed a variety of food as well. And you'll achieve really good colors and really good growth out of these guys. And they'll make you happy. I'm probably going to be making this guy my mascot for the entire channel. So that does it for this video, and we'll see you on the next one.